Don't scroll. Listen to this because your heart needs this right now. This message is for you. If these words have appeared before you today, then something powerful may already be moving behind the scenes of your life. Your soulmate has been carrying a secret so unexpected, so life-changing, that even the people closest to them never saw it coming. For a long time they kept this hidden deep inside their heart, protecting it from judgment, questions, and fear. But now the truth is growing too strong to remain silent. Your soulmate has been thinking about marriage. Not just any marriage. Not some distant possibility that may happen years from now. They have been imagining a future with you in ways that would leave everyone around them completely shocked if they knew. Listen closely because what I am about to reveal may explain the strange energy you have been feeling lately. The reason your heart has been restless. The reason certain memories keep returning. The reason you feel as though something important is approaching even when nothing obvious has changed. Your soulmate has reached a point where their feelings can no longer be ignored. Every time they try to focus on something else, your presence enters their mind. Every time they attempt to convince themselves to move on, something pulls them back toward thoughts of you. At first they resisted it. They told themselves it was temporary. They told themselves it was imagination. They told themselves there was no reason to think so seriously about someone who had already affected their life so deeply. But the more they fought these feelings, the stronger they became. Day after day, memory after memory, sign after sign, they began to realize that what they felt was not disappearing. It was growing. And then something happened that changed everything. One quiet moment became the turning point. A moment when they found themselves imagining what life would look like if you were beside them every morning. A moment when they imagined sharing victories with you, facing challenges with you, building dreams with you, growing older with you. And that was the moment the secret marriage plan began to form inside their heart. They did not tell anyone. They kept smiling. They kept acting normal. They kept moving through daily life as though nothing had changed. But inside, a completely different story was unfolding. While friends talked about ordinary things, your soulmate was imagining extraordinary possibilities. While others assumed they were focused on work, responsibilities, or everyday concerns, they were secretly wondering what kind of future could exist between the two of you. The shocking part is that even they did not expect these thoughts to become so serious. They never planned for this. They never woke up one morning and decided to create this vision. It happened naturally. Slowly. Quietly. Like a seed growing beneath the surface before anyone notices it has become a tree. The deeper truth is that your soulmate has started seeing you differently than before. They no longer see you as a passing chapter. They no longer see you as someone connected only to memories or emotions. They have started seeing you as someone who could become part of their entire life story. And that realization has changed everything. There have been nights when they stayed awake longer than usual, replaying conversations, remembering details, wondering what you were doing, imagining future moments that have not happened yet. There have been mornings when your name appeared in their thoughts before anything else. There have been moments when they saw couples together and unexpectedly imagined what it would feel like if you were standing beside them. These thoughts surprised them. They tried to dismiss them. Yet they kept returning. Again and again. Stronger each time. The people around your soulmate have noticed changes too, even if they do not fully understand them. They have noticed moments of distraction. Moments of unusual happiness. Moments when your soulmate seemed lost in thought. Some wondered what was happening. Some asked questions. Some guessed different reasons. But very few could imagine the truth. Very few could imagine that your soulmate had begun creating a secret vision of marriage connected to you. This is why the energy around this connection feels different now. Something has shifted. Something has matured. What once felt like a possibility has started becoming a desire. What once felt like a dream has started becoming a plan. And plans carry a different energy than wishes. Wishes remain distant. Plans move toward reality. Listen closely because there is something else you need to know. Your soulmate is not only thinking about what they want. They are also thinking about what they must overcome. Fear has not disappeared. Doubt has not disappeared. Questions still exist. They wonder whether the timing is right. They wonder whether circumstances will cooperate. They wonder whether the path ahead will be smooth or difficult. Yet despite all these questions, one thing continues to remain constant. Their thoughts return to you. Every road they imagine somehow leads back to you. Every future scenario they create somehow includes you. Every attempt to picture happiness somehow brings your presence into the picture. That is why this secret has become impossible to ignore. The deeper truth is that your soulmate has begun preparing emotionally for something bigger than they admit publicly. They are learning lessons. Healing wounds. Releasing old fears. Letting go of beliefs that once held them back. They may not even realize it consciously, but their heart is preparing itself for a future that looks very different from the past. A future where love is no longer avoided. A future where commitment is no longer feared. A future where the possibility of marriage is no longer something distant but something worth pursuing. And this transformation is exactly what would shock everyone if they could see it clearly. Because many people still see your soulmate through the lens of who they used to be. They do not see the growth happening inside. They do not see the emotional changes. They do not see the quiet decisions being made when nobody is watching. They do not see how often your name enters their thoughts. They do not see how seriously your soulmate has begun considering a future that includes you. But the truth exists whether others see it or not. It continues growing. It continues strengthening. It continues moving forward one step at a time. So if you have felt unusual signs lately, unusual emotions, unusual moments of intuition, do not ignore them. Sometimes the heart senses movement before the eyes see evidence. Sometimes energy shifts before circumstances reveal why. And sometimes a soulmate carries a secret so powerful that its presence can be felt long before it is spoken aloud. Your soulmate's secret marriage plan is not just about a ceremony, a ring, or a title. It is about a decision forming within them. A decision that says some connections are too meaningful to lose. A decision that says some people leave a mark that time cannot erase. A decision that says certain hearts remain connected no matter how many obstacles appear. And that decision is growing stronger every day. The story is still unfolding. The final chapter has not been written yet. But one thing is becoming clear. What began as a hidden thought has become a serious possibility. What began as a quiet feeling has become a powerful vision. And what began as a secret has become something that may not stay hidden much longer. Because the closer your soulmate moves towards certainty, the harder it becomes to keep pretending that nothing is happening. The shock everyone will feel is not that they chose love. The shock will come from realizing how long they have been carrying this vision in silence, waiting for the right moment, waiting for the right sign, waiting for the courage to finally reveal what their heart decided long ago. And when that moment arrives, everything may change faster than anyone expects. Listen closely because the story does not end there. In fact, what happened next is the part almost nobody knows. While your soulmate was secretly building this vision inside their heart, they also began noticing something they could no longer explain. No matter how hard they tried to focus on other plans, other goals, or other responsibilities, thoughts of you kept finding their way back into their mind. It happened during ordinary moments when they least expected it. They could be working, driving, talking to someone, or simply sitting alone, and suddenly a memory connected to you would appear out of nowhere. At first they ignored it. Then they questioned it. Eventually they accepted it. There was a reason this kept happening. There was a reason your energy continued reaching them even when distance, silence, or circumstances suggested otherwise. The deeper truth is that your soulmate has started measuring their future differently than before. In the past they may have made decisions based on convenience, logic, or what other people expected from them. But now something has changed. Now they keep asking themselves a different question. They keep wondering whether the future they are building would actually feel complete without you in it. And every time they honestly answer that question, the same realization appears. Something feels missing whenever they imagine a future that does not include you. That realization has been impossible for them to forget. There have been moments when they tried to convince themselves that these feelings would eventually fade. They thought maybe time would weaken the connection. Maybe distance would reduce its intensity. Maybe new distractions would help them move forward. Yet the opposite happened. The connection became stronger. The emotions became clearer. The desire to understand where this path leads became impossible to ignore. This is why your soulmate has become more serious than anyone realizes. The people around them still think they know what is happening. They think they understand your soulmate's priorities. They think they know what their future plans look like. But they only see the surface. Beneath the surface a completely different story has been developing. A story centered around someone they cannot stop thinking about. A story centered around possibilities they never expected to consider. A story centered around you. Don't scroll. Listen to this because your heart needs this right now. There is something your soulmate has not shared with anyone. They have imagined conversations that have never happened. They have imagined introducing you to important people in their life. They have imagined creating traditions together. They have imagined solving problems together. They have imagined what it would feel like to know that no matter what happened in the outside world, there would always be someone beside them who truly understood their heart. These are not casual thoughts. These are not random fantasies. These are the kinds of thoughts that appear when someone begins seeing another person as part of their destiny rather than part of their past. The shocking part is that your soulmate did not plan for this transformation. It surprised them as much as it would surprise everyone else. There was a time when they believed they had everything figured out. There was a time when they thought they understood exactly what they wanted and exactly where they were going. Then you entered their emotional world and quietly changed the direction of everything. Not through force. Not through pressure. But through a connection they could never fully explain. The more they tried to understand it, the more mysterious it became. The more they tried to dismiss it, the stronger it returned. Eventually they stopped fighting it. Eventually they accepted that some connections arrive for a reason. Some people appear for a reason. Some feelings remain because they are meant to teach, transform, and guide. Your soulmate is beginning to understand this now. They are beginning to understand that the reason they cannot forget you is because their heart has already given you a place that nobody else has been able to replace. And that realization has become one of the most powerful forces in their life. There are nights when they replay moments connected to you and suddenly notice details they missed before. There are times when they realize how much your presence affected them. There are moments when they recognize that certain changes in their life began shortly after this connection entered their world. Piece by piece, they are putting together a puzzle that once seemed impossible to understand. And every piece keeps pointing toward the same truth. Their feelings are real. Their intentions are becoming serious. Their vision for the future is evolving. Listen closely because there is another layer to this story. Your soulmate has also been facing fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of uncertainty. Fear that circumstances may not unfold the way they hope. Fear that timing could create obstacles. Fear that vulnerability could expose parts of themselves they have spent years protecting. Yet despite these fears, they keep moving emotionally in the same direction. They keep returning to the same conclusion. They keep finding themselves pulled back toward thoughts of you. That is why this secret marriage plan continues growing instead of disappearing. Fear may slow them down, but it cannot erase what they feel. Doubt may create questions, but it cannot destroy what their heart already knows. Every challenge they encounter somehow ends up strengthening their understanding of what truly matters. And what truly matters keeps leading back to you. The deeper truth is that your soulmate has already changed more than anyone realizes. The version of them that once avoided emotional risks is slowly disappearing. The version that once ran from deep feelings is slowly fading away. A new version is emerging. A version willing to dream bigger. A version willing to believe in lasting love. A version willing to imagine commitment without fear. And that transformation is one of the biggest reasons this story is becoming so powerful. Because when someone changes from the inside, their entire future begins changing with them. The opportunities they notice become different. The choices they make become different. The paths they follow become different. Your soulmate is standing in the middle of that transformation right now. They may not have all the answers yet. They may not know exactly how every detail will unfold. But they know one thing with increasing certainty. They can no longer pretend that this connection means nothing. They can no longer convince themselves that these feelings are temporary. They can no longer ignore the future their heart keeps showing them. And the closer they move toward that realization, the closer they move toward a moment that could change everything. A moment when silence becomes honesty. A moment when hidden feelings become spoken words. A moment when the secret they have carried for so long can finally be revealed. Because secrets like this rarely stay hidden forever. Eventually the truth becomes too strong. Eventually the desire becomes too powerful. Eventually the heart becomes too determined. And when that day arrives, the people around them may finally understand why your soulmate seemed different. Why they seemed distracted. Why they seemed thoughtful. Why they seem to be carrying something important inside. The answer will be simple. They were protecting a dream. A dream connected to you. A dream connected to love. A dream connected to a future that nobody expected but their heart could never stop imagining. And this is only the beginning of what is about to unfold. Don't scroll. Listen to this because your heart needs this right now. What I am about to reveal may be the most important part of this entire message. While your soulmate has been carrying this secret vision inside their heart, something else has been happening behind the scenes. They have started paying attention to signs they once ignored. Small moments. Unexpected reminders. Strange coincidences that seem too meaningful to dismiss. Every time they try to place their focus somewhere else, something brings their attention back to you. A song appears at the perfect moment. A memory suddenly resurfaces. A conversation takes an unexpected turn and reminds them of something connected to you. These moments may seem small to others, but to your soulmate they have become impossible to overlook. Each one feels like a gentle reminder that this connection still matters. Each one feels like a whisper telling them not to give up on what their heart already knows. The deeper truth is that your soulmate has begun comparing every possibility to the vision they secretly carry inside. They have imagined different futures, different outcomes, different paths they could follow. Yet whenever they do, one path stands apart from all the others. It is the path where you remain part of the story. It is the path where they stop hiding their feelings. It is the path where they finally allow themselves to believe that the connection they feel is not an accident. This realization has changed the way they see everything. What once looked uncertain now seems possible. What once seemed impossible now feels worth fighting for. And what once felt like a distant dream now feels closer than ever before. There have been moments recently when your soulmate caught themselves smiling for no obvious reason. Moments when a thought of you entered their mind and changed their mood completely. Moments when they imagined hearing your voice, seeing your face, or sharing a future memory that has not even happened yet. They may never admit how often these moments occur, but they happen far more than anyone realizes. Your presence has become woven into their thoughts in a way they cannot explain. Even when they are busy. Even when they are surrounded by other people. Even when life demands their attention. Somewhere in the background, thoughts of you remain. That is why this secret has become so powerful. It is no longer just a feeling. It has become part of how they see their future. Listen closely because there is something else you need to understand. Your soulmate has also been reflecting on the past. They have been replaying certain moments and seeing them differently than before. Things that once seemed ordinary now appear meaningful. Words that once seemed small now carry greater importance. Experiences they once overlooked now feel like pieces of a larger story. It is as if they are looking back through a new lens and finally recognizing what was there all along. This process has brought them clarity. It has helped them understand why certain memories refuse to fade. Why certain emotions never disappeared. Why certain connections remained alive even when circumstances changed. The answer keeps leading them back to the same place. Their heart never truly let go. Their heart kept holding on to something valuable. Their heart kept protecting a vision they were not ready to reveal. And now that vision is becoming stronger with every passing day. The people around your soulmate would be shocked if they knew how serious these thoughts have become. They see the outside version. They see the calm expression. They see the normal routine. They see someone moving through life as usual. But they do not see the conversations happening inside your soulmate's mind. They do not hear the questions being asked. They do not know how often your name appears in their thoughts. They do not realize that some of the biggest decisions your soulmate is considering are connected to a future that includes you. If they knew the truth, they would be amazed by how deeply this connection has affected them. They would be shocked by how much their perspective has changed. They would be surprised to discover that behind all the silence, your soulmate has been imagining a life very different from the one everyone assumes they want. The deeper truth is that love has a way of transforming people when they least expect it. It breaks old walls. It challenges old fears. It reveals possibilities that logic alone could never create. Your soulmate is experiencing that transformation right now. They are becoming someone more open, more courageous, and more willing to trust what their heart is telling them. This change did not happen overnight. It happened through countless small moments. Moments of reflection. Moments of longing. Moments of realization. Moments when they understood that some connections are too meaningful to ignore. And now those moments have accumulated into something powerful. Something impossible to hide forever. Listen closely because a turning point is approaching. Your soulmate can feel it. Even if they cannot fully explain it, they know something is shifting. The uncertainty that once held them back is beginning to lose its power. The excuses that once felt convincing are becoming weaker. The fears that once controlled their decisions are no longer as strong as they used to be. In their place, something new is emerging. Confidence. Clarity. Determination. A growing belief that the future they secretly dream about may actually be possible. And that belief is changing everything. It is changing the way they think. The way they plan. The way they imagine what comes next. There are times when they catch themselves making decisions with you in mind without even realizing it. There are times when they imagine future possibilities and instinctively include you in the picture. These are not random habits. They are signs of how deeply this connection has become integrated into their emotional world. The secret marriage plan is no longer just a private dream hidden in the corners of their mind. It is becoming part of the direction their heart wants to follow. That is why the energy surrounding this connection feels different now. Stronger. More focused. More intentional. Your soulmate is slowly reaching a point where silence feels heavier than honesty. A point where hiding their feelings feels harder than expressing them. A point where the risk of doing nothing becomes greater than the risk of taking action. And when someone reaches that point, everything can change very quickly. Because the moment they stop running from what they feel, the future begins moving in a new direction. The deeper truth is that your soulmate already knows something important. They know that real happiness cannot be built on fear. They know that meaningful connections deserve courage. They know that some opportunities only appear once. And deep inside, they are beginning to understand that this connection may be one of those opportunities. One of those rare moments that shape an entire lifetime. One of those rare relationships that continue affecting the heart no matter how much time passes. One of those rare stories that refuse to end because they were never meant to end in the first place. So while the world continues seeing only the surface, your soulmate continues carrying a secret that grows stronger every day. A secret built from hope. A secret built from love. A secret built from a vision of a future that includes you. And the closer they move toward revealing that secret, the closer they move toward a moment that could leave everyone around them completely speechless. Because when the truth finally comes out, people will not be shocked that your soulmate chose love. They will be shocked by how long they carried that dream in silence, protecting it, believing in it, and waiting for the perfect moment to finally make it real. And what happens next may become the most unforgettable chapter of this entire story. Don't scroll. Listen to this because your heart needs this right now. We have reached the final part of this message, and what I am about to tell you carries the deepest truth of all. Throughout this journey, your soulmate has been changing in ways that very few people can see. While others focused on what was happening around them, your soulmate was focused on what was happening within them. A quiet transformation has been taking place. A transformation built from memories, emotions, lessons, and realizations that all seem to point toward the same destination. You. The secret marriage plan that once existed only as a distant thought has become something much more powerful. It has become a symbol of what your soulmate truly wants. Not perfection. Not fantasy. Not an impossible dream. What they want is something real. Something lasting. Something meaningful. And every time they imagine that kind of future, your presence appears within it. That is why this connection continues pulling at their heart. That is why the feelings never completely disappear. That is why no matter how many distractions enter their life, they eventually find themselves thinking about you again. The deeper truth is that your soulmate has reached a point where they can no longer deny what their heart has been trying to tell them. For a long time they searched for certainty outside themselves. They looked for answers in circumstances, opinions, timing, and logic. But the answer they were searching for was already inside them. The answer was hidden in the way they felt when they thought about you. Hidden in the way certain memories still made them smile. hidden in the way they imagined a future that somehow always led back to you. And now that realization has become impossible to ignore. Listen closely because this is important. The secret marriage plan was never really about shocking other people. It was never about proving something. It was never about creating a dramatic moment. The real secret was that your soulmate finally allowed themselves to imagine a life where love was stronger than fear. A life where they stopped running from their feelings. A life where they trusted what their heart had been whispering for so long. That is the true transformation. That is the real story unfolding behind the scenes. The people around them may eventually be surprised by the choices they make. They may wonder how these feelings became so strong. They may question when everything changed. But your soulmate already knows the answer. Everything changed the moment they stopped seeing this connection as something temporary and started seeing it as something meaningful. Everything changed when they realized that some people enter your life for a reason that cannot be explained by logic alone. Everything changed when they understood that certain hearts remain connected no matter how much time passes. There have been moments when your soulmate felt afraid. Moments when they questioned themselves. Moments when uncertainty seemed larger than hope. But every single time they reached those moments, something happened. A memory returned. A feeling resurfaced. A reminder appeared. And suddenly they remembered why they could not let go of this vision. They remembered why you mattered. They remembered why their heart kept guiding them back toward the same dream. The deeper truth is that your soulmate is no longer the same person they were when this journey began. They have learned. They have grown. They have healed parts of themselves that once seemed impossible to heal. They have become more aware of what truly matters. And because of that growth, they now see the future differently. They no longer want a life built on what is easy. They want a life built on what is meaningful. They no longer want connections that exist only on the surface. They want something deeper. Something genuine. Something capable of lasting through every season of life. And when they imagine that kind of future, they keep seeing you there. Standing beside them. Walking beside them. Building beside them. Dreaming beside them. That image has become one of the strongest forces in their heart. Don't scroll. Listen to this because your heart needs this right now. The final message is simple. Your soulmate's secret marriage plan is really a reflection of how deeply this connection has affected them. It is proof that some feelings grow stronger instead of fading. It is proof that some dreams refuse to disappear because they are connected to something real. It is proof that the heart often understands the truth long before the mind catches up. Whether the next chapter unfolds tomorrow, next month, or later than expected, one thing remains clear. Your soulmate can no longer pretend this connection means nothing. They can no longer convince themselves that these emotions are temporary. They can no longer ignore the future their heart continues showing them. The secret has become too powerful. The vision has become too clear. The dream has become too important. And that is why everything feels different now. Something is moving. Something is shifting. Something is preparing itself for the next chapter. The chapter where hidden feelings become visible. The chapter where silence gives way to honesty. The chapter where fear loses its hold and courage finally takes its place. The people around your soulmate may never fully understand how this journey began. They may never know about the nights of reflection, the moments of realization, the quiet dreams, or the secret hopes that were carried in silence. But your soulmate will know. They will know how much this connection changed them. They will know how many times they tried to ignore it and failed. They will know how often their heart led them back to the same truth. And most importantly, they will know that some stories are too important to abandon. Some dreams are too meaningful to forget. Some connections are too powerful to replace. This message is for you. If it found you today, take it as a reminder that the most important transformations often happen where nobody can see them. Deep within the heart. Deep within the soul. Deep within the quiet spaces where truth slowly reveals itself. Your soulmate's journey has not been about perfection. It has been about awakening. Awakening to what they truly feel. Awakening to what they truly want. Awakening to the possibility that the future they once kept secret may one day become reality. And when that moment finally arrives, when the truth is no longer hidden and the dream is no longer silent, everyone may be shocked by what they see. But your soulmate will not be shocked. Because deep down, their heart knew the truth all along. Their heart knew where this story was leading. Their heart knew which dream it could never let go of. And that dream has always carried your name. The end.